The A's are rolling at the right time. The green and gold have won 6 straight, and the offense is clicking, scoring 44 runs during their win streak. Last night, the A's had a 10-run third inning against a struggling Orioles team, and tonight, A's will look to sweep the season series versus the O's. Brett Anderson returns to the mound. The veteran lefty has been on the shelf since August 27th, and the A's would love to have a healthy and reliable Anderson during their postseason push. A's and O's, final game of the series, next. Well, it's another damp, humid night here in Baltimore. We are at Oriole Park at Camden Yards for the series finale, and Brett Anderson and the Athletics are going for the sweep. It's the A's and the Orioles coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Oakland A's baseball. Along with my broadcast partner, Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Brett Anderson is indeed back, and man, it's been so tough to keep starters healthy this year for the A's, Ray. We're just glad to have Anderson back because the A's really need him.
And I'm hoping you could start just to help out. But Brett Anderson coming back tonight really helps out the ball club because he has not been on the disabled list that long, but he had some forearm issues. He's a veteran, and that is key going down the stretch. He knows how to pitch. He has a good breaking pitch, and I think for the A's to know that he is in the rotation, that's a big plus for them right now.
All right, when it comes to the A's, Matt Chapman, we talk a whole lot about his defense, as we should. He's terrific, but let's not forget about his offense, Ray. He has been one of the best hitters in all of baseball since the All-Star break.
Cappy told us the other night on a post-game show, and I think it's exactly what he's been doing. He's letting the ball travel farther. He's hitting the ball the opposite field, which he has done in this series. He's had tremendous numbers. You hit a hanging curveball down the left field line, almost hits a grand slam. But I think everything that he is doing defensively really helps him relax more as an offensive player. So the combination of defense and offense for one of the best third basemen in all of baseball, even in his first full year, is quite impressive.
All right, the A's have a magic number of 9 for a postseason berth. How about that? Single digits with that magic number, and both the Astros and the Yankees are off today. So, see if the A's can finish off the sweep and win their 7th consecutive game. We'll have lineups and first pitch when we come back to Baltimore. Welcome back to Oriole Park at Camden Yards for the final game of this series. A's will get out of town after the ball game and head to St. Petersburg. And we like it here in Baltimore, but we're kind of glad to head on out of here with the weather situation. Speaking of game time weather, presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, the admission-free boardwalk is open this weekend. It's warm and it's pretty humid. 75 degrees. We're avoiding the rain that is happening south of here. We may have to fly around it a little bit tonight as we head to St. Petersburg, Florida. Here's the A starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Laureano in center, Chapman at third, Lowry at second, Davis the DH, and then it's Matt Olson, a 3-run homer last night. Piscotty's in right, Simeon's at short, Martini's in left, and Josh Fegley's your catcher tonight.
And to be the right-hander, Dylan Bundy, of course, from the Orioles standpoint, trying to avoid a sweep. The A's, of course, want to complete the sweep. 28 start for this young right-hander. Did not start against the A's in Oakland. However, last year, a couple of starts that we'll talk about. But he's a prospect. He's been a prospect with this Baltimore club for quite a while. He's been in the bullpen, rotation, and he gets the start tonight against the Athletics with a 7-14 record. Defensively behind Dylan Bundy. This is what the Orioles will send out. John Andrioli is in left. Cedric Mullins in center. Joey Rickard is in right. Renato Nunez, Jonathan Villar, Breivik Valera, and Trey Mancini on the infield with Caleb Joseph as the catcher. So it may not be Brooks Robinson, Mark Belanger, let's see,
David
Bobby
Johnson,
Grish, Davey Johnson, Boop Powell, Al Bumbry.
Yeah.
May not be that group.
Yeah.
But
Or Andy Etchebarren and Elrod Hendricks behind the plate platooning
So
with Joe Palmer and Dave McNally.
Yeah.
The 4 20-game winners in '71. The Orioles not. But hey, A's have tried to take advantage of it regardless.
So the first pitch of the game drops in for a strike to Ramon Laureano. So we're underway from Camden Yards.
That's a great memory of a pretty good ball club, man. That's impressive.
Al Bumbry.
Yeah. He's the one that Jim Palmer always says, you know, I gave up a couple of home runs to Ray Fosse, but Al Bumbry caught him and dropped him over the fence.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay. All right. Because that happens all the time. 1-2 the count to Laureano. Be careful, Dylan Bundy. It was one of his.
That was in his
warm-up tosses.
That's the old gotcha before, yeah, you're making it.
Laureano skies one to shallow center. And it's going to be actually in the right center where Joey Rickard comes over and makes the catch.
You know what they say, Kemp, is that you can't hide from the cameras. They're everywhere.
Hey, tonight, any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go.
With these two starters, we might not be seeing that Xfinity pop up because Brett Anderson is not going to be elevated fastball. Dylan Bundy is about tops out at 91-92.
Umpires tonight, that is Angel Hernandez calling balls and strikes. Todd Tishner at first. Chad Whitson at second, and that's Bill Miller, the crew chief. He's going to man third base. That's a swing. So a quick 0-2 to Matt Chapman. 282 the average for Chapman. 22 homers, 63 RBIs. Chapman 3 hits in the series, a couple of doubles. He's knocked in 4. And he chased. So Bundy retires the first 2 hitters here in the first.
And a good breaking ball. Bundy will throw a cutter. It's a curveball slider. That was more of a curveball. See the breakaway, a chase pitch, something the A's do not do a lot of. Like Matt Chapman did. I think one of the amazing things is how a pitcher might get started on a good foot, but all of a sudden, second time through the batting order, third time. That's good hitting coach with Darren Bush, Mike Aldretti, and they try to figure things out after going to the plate a couple of times.
Pitchcast tonight brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company. Lowry pops it up behind third. That's VR, the shortstop, who gets over there and he makes the catch. So Dylan Bundy with a 3 up, 3 down, top of the first inning. It's a full squad, folks. Those are the relievers. All right, let's take a look at the Southwest Airlines starting lineup for the Baltimore Orioles. Cedric Mullins, Joey Rickard, Jonathan Villar, Trey Mancini, Tim Beckham. Beckham's going to be the DH. Then it's Nunez, Andrioli, Valera, and Joseph. Brett Anderson kicks in the first pitch to the switch hitting Cedric Mullins, who is in first strike. Mullins, Rickard, and VR. That one rolled up the third base line, and it is going to stay fair. Unbelievable.
You know, you'd think if it's on the grass it would stay, but I think we have a little bit of a tilt on the dirt, because that is amazing that it would stay fair the way it did. The grass right up to the foul line. Well, almost about a ball size. It does not, but it hit the grass and then would not go foul. And I think that says right there, if all ball's going towards, yeah, if it stays fair, there's no way. Well, it's hard to roll a ball down there because he'd be able to put a size of a baseball in that path, but good break for the Orioles. Chapman did the best thing. He couldn't, there's no way he could have picked the ball up and thrown it out.
So here's Joey Rickard. Mullins does not have a stolen base. Right field, it's a long run for Piscotty, and he's not going to get it. One hop into the seats.
Brett Anderson joined the ball club about the time the Orioles came to the Coliseum. Matter of fact, he pitched in Seattle when he was brought up on the 2nd of May. So he missed pitching against the Orioles in Oakland on the season, making his 14th start. A record of 3-4 with a 4+ earned run average, and happy to have him back in the rotation. August the 27th against the Astros was his last appearance, and he went just 2 2/3 innings.
Down and in. Strained left forearm. Second time that Anderson has been on the disabled list this year. Mid-May through July, he was on it with a strained left shoulder.
If that was the injury that occurred in Baltimore, he said he never had that type of an injury. He had everything else, but that was the first time with the shoulder.
The A's need him to stay healthy. Some question marks now with Trevor Cahill.
We'll find out. He traveled to Phoenix, I think, to have his back and shoulder checked. Unbelievable
if you really think about what has happened to the A's. With 10 different pitchers, 10 different starters have gone on the disabled list. Think about that.
Well, and two, in Puck and Cotton didn't even get a chance because they had Tommy John before the season began.
For the A's to be where they are says a lot for everybody. From the dugout to the front office. Here's the A's defense. Martini, Laureano, and Piscotti in the outfield. Chapman, Simeon, Lowry, Olsen on the infield. And Josh Fegley is your catcher. I think with all the injuries to the starters, one thing that has helped is the position players, for the most part, have remained healthy. There's been a few DL stints, not real long, but Bob Melvin's been able to throw the same group out there for the most part, and I think that has helped.
That is true. Only Matt Chapman when he went on the DL, and whenever he did, still say one of the highlights of this year is when Jed Lowry agreed to play third, so Loretto could play second and really provided some offense when he was on the DL. But unselfish Jed Lowry moved to third, and everything just remained. And then Chapman comes back, Lowry goes back to second, and that's a great point because you think of Olsen and Simeon at first and short. They have not been hurt, and hopefully that remains the same remainder of the season.
Matt Joyce is the only injury that has been a very long injury.
Probably the good thing for the Athletics, they've been able to have the interchangeable parts at AAA. When Fowler was sent down, and Penders stepped in. He was on the DL for 10 days, but for a different, really non-baseball injury.
Other foul balls. Joey Rickard making it tough on Brett Anderson. So, 10th pitch of this at bat. Jonathan Villar, a switch hitter, waits in the on-deck circle. Hit toward right center. Laureano gets back. And he makes the catch. So the long at-bat ends with a fly ball to center field.
Got to your point about Mullins not really a base-stealing threat. And of course, with Brett Anderson being a left-hander and throwing over occasionally, but that should help Brett Anderson. With a runner first base, although he looks like he could steal some bases, he has the makeup. And to the Al Bumbry reference that you made earlier,
it looks like Al Bumbry.
A couple of guys that got on base and they did run. Coggins and Bumbry, a couple of speedsters played the outfield. Paul Blair.
VR bunts it. It's a good bunt. Chapman picks it up. His throw is wide and everybody's safe. So Chapman, he had a long ways to come, and it was a very good bunt by VR. So it'll be a bunt single.
I think with this grass, really it's conducive to guys who can bunt. And I think that's why we've seen some attempts. And this was successful, and we've seen Matt Chapman make some exceptional plays on bunts. Slow hit balls, but if you have the grass that goes right up to the foul line, you get the ball down as a pretty good base runner and bunter, then you could help yourself. That's what we're talking about. You get the ball on the grass, it's not going to roll foul unless it's right on the tip. That's how little dirt there is between the grass and the foul line. It's a great shot.
Here's the cleanup hitter, Trey Mancini. He's playing first base tonight. Rolls it toward short, slowly hit, and Simeon looked at second and decided, you know what, let's make sure and go to first. Unless he didn't have it a good grip, but it was going to be a close play at second.
And I think with VR, who runs well, we've seen in the series, and with the ball slightly to the right and coming in, and that was a smart play because had he gone to second, he probably would not have gotten VR. And that's a smart play on his part, be able to have the ball in his hand, look to second, realize he had no play except to first, and get enough on the throw to get Mancini.
So 2 outs, a couple of runners in scoring position for Tim Beckham, who's the DH. Beckham takes a strike right down the middle. Beckham, 10 homers, 29 RBIs. $15 doubles. There's a shot to center, and that's a base hit. It's going to score Mullins. VR's being waved home. Throw to the plate is cut off. 2 runs are going to score. Beckham's going to be in a rundown. And Marcus Semien chases him down. And that's how the bottom of the first ends. But it's a 2-run single for Tim Beckham. So after 1 from Baltimore, the Orioles lead 2-0. So the Orioles lead 2-0. Buck Showalter talking to Tim Beckham, and there's a lot of different things to talk about on that last play. It's smaller baseball thing, right? I mean, Beckham with base hit, drives in 2, which is the good thing. Laureano hits the cutoff man. That allows the A's to get the out on Beckham. And what Beckham's doing, Ray, is sometimes a runner will, I don't know if he was doing it on purpose, but sometimes a runner will make it look like he's going to go to second to try to force the first baseman to cut the ball off,
draw throw,
to guarantee that the runners score, which is that's a good play. But do you need to do that if there's 2 outs?
No,
probably not.
That's probably what Buck Showalter was talking to him about. You know, aggressively round the bag, but don't get it a rundown, because he did not need to draw a throw for the 2 runs to score.
They were going to score no matter what. I guess
well, with 2 outs, they can go in contact. If there's 1 out, it's a different story. But no, with there's 2 outs and runners at second and third, the runner at second should score easily. And, you know, essentially he was going to. But what Laureano did on the positive side, he hit the cutoff man. And with that in mind, they were able to get the 3rd out of the inning with the rundown with Beckham.
So you see what Beckham was trying to do, but it may not have been a situation where he needed to do that.
Exactly.
3-2 the count to Chris Davis.
That's a good call by Angel Hernandez, deferring to the first base umpire. And Caleb Joseph saying, yes, let's go. And Todd Tischer said no.
And Davis rolls it foul to the screen. So here's this play. Like I said, a lot going on.
It looked like a backdoor breaking ball, which it was, staying in the middle of the plate. So watch the runner at second base. On contact, he's gone. The ball, 1, 2, couple of hops, and Laureano just threw to the plate, cut off by Olsen, and Beckham had rounded too far. So if you think what Jed Lowry did in circling behind to cover first base, it would have been better for Beckham See Jed Lowry sneaking in back, and he saw the throw, and he was done. Now, the only possibility for him would have been if Jed Lowry had not been smart enough to go to first base to be there for the return throw. And he's able to get the third out of the inning.
Nunez has it. His throw across in time to get Chris Davis. Yeah, that's another part of the play. Is Jed Lowry goes somewhere, right? There's a spot for everybody on every play, and Jed Lowry made a really good play.
Well, and that ball to center field, it's the third baseman who's the cutoff man. Sometimes the first baseman, but in this case, it would be the third baseman. Or actually, it was Olson, the third baseman, stayed, and Olson came over because there was nobody at first. And that's why he was able to jump, cut the ball off, not allowed to go to the plate.
So Matt Olson steps up. Olson, 26 homers, 72 RBIs.
Everybody should learn from Derek Jeter and what he did and the play that's going to be shown forever. And he ranged all the way from shortstop to back up to first baseman and flipped the ball to home. And he simply said, didn't have anything to do, so I decided to go back up. To your point, Kai, do something if you have nothing to do. So you might as well go to first. He did, and they get the big out.
One and two to Olson. Running towards second. Valera has it. Olson's out. But Dylan Bundy has retired the first 5 that he has faced in this game. Bundy looking for his 8th win of the year. Bundy last year kind of came into his own. He was 13-9 with a 4.2 ERA, and he made 28 starts. Finally started getting to that potential that the Orioles have been waiting. As we said, he had arm surgery, but he's also the 4th overall pick in the 2011 draft, number 4. So you need to get something out of him for the Orioles, and last year they started to do that, but this year playing on a team that has really struggled. He's 7-14. I guess what you hope, Ray, is he learns something from this year. That one's hit pretty well to right field. Rickard's back. Rickard turns around, and that baby's gone. Up over the out-of-town scoreboard, Piscotty homers. A's are on the board.
An ongoing season high for Stephen Piscotty, and we have seen him go left field, left center, and how about right field? And he does it perfectly with the pitch a little bit away, and White try to pull a 92 on the outside part of the plate. Not a bad pitch by Bundy. The only thing that might have affected him was a little bit elevated, but give Stephen Piscotty a lot of credit as he went opposite field. The out-of-town scoreboard in right field is shorter. That ball cleared it easily, and Stephen Piscotty puts the A's on the board.
So here's Marcus Semien. Well, home runs have been a major issue for Dylan Bundy. Ray, that is the 38th home run that he has allowed this year, and that is the most in all of baseball.
Yeah, I said something to Matt Olson today. I said, hey, nice going to opposite field. He said, nice to play in a great hitting park, as we talked about, and the way the ball carries. And Piscotty went opposite field tonight to right field, just like Olson did last night to left field. Yeah, but you're right, Kev. That's a lot of home runs to give up, and especially against a club that is capable of hitting home runs. And the A's are that club, could help them get back in this game, which that one did.
Very high, shallow center. It's Valera, the second baseman. Now he works his way back toward the infield and grabs it. Stephen Piscotty with his 24th home run of the year. It goes the other way. Bottom of the second coming up. 2-1 Baltimore. 2-1 Orioles lead. Piscotty with a home run. 24 homers and 39 doubles. Steve Piscotty.
That is interesting. As he took off his cap, he's looking at the cheat sheet. He goes, he looks at it. Is that Nunez? It's that puzzling look that he had after looking at his cap, but that's the information that the guys have in their caps, in the back pockets, different places to show what they're going to position themselves for certain players.
Hit hard. Chapman with a great play. Gets up. His throw to first. In time. Sensational play by Matt Chapman.
Nunez knows all about him. And we have gotten a chance to see this so often. And once he gets up, the rest of it's immaterial. And I don't care how fast you are. Nunez runs well. Chapman able to get up quickly. Strong throw. Good stretch by Matt Olson at first base. But that's a play you do not see a lot of guys make, especially to dive, come up that quickly, and make the put out. And that's a base hit leading off the inning most cases. With the range, catching it, getting up quickly, getting a good enough grip to make a strong throw, and nice to have Matt Olson on the other side to stretch and complete the play. I can't see it enough. I mean, you're a hitter, you're thinking, I got a base knock, and I got to run hard because the man with the strongest arm picked it up, and now he's throwing across the diamond.
Strike called. 1-2 the count to John Andrioli. We saw John Andrioli earlier this year briefly. In fact, he made his major league debut against the A's when he was a member of the Seattle Mariners. It was way back on the 23rd of May. In fact, he got his first big league hit against the A's. But the Mariners put him on waivers, and he was claimed off waivers on the 18th of August by the Baltimore Orioles. And there's a swing, and that's a strike. So Todd Tishner, I think Todd Tishner really is just standing down there with his right hand up in the air, just holding it up.
Look at that smile. Like, it's more than a smile, it's a laugh. That's not a swing.
That's folks. A bad call.
That is a bad call. Hey, you take a chance, you might get the call, and the A's did. Definitely not a swing. Actually, some of the A's players who on the check swings have gone farther.
On the right field line by Valera, and it's just foul.
Well, it's StatCast on Stephen Piscotty, opposite field, off the bat. A little bit under 100. Launch angle really, really good to get over the out-of-town scoreboard at 31, and just kind of the old in the front row. 367, you'll take it. Especially with 2 outs, the A's get on the board, split the difference.
StatCast AI powered by AWS. 1-1 the count to Breivik Valera, way inside. Valera playing second base.
That really helps a pitcher to give up 2 runs in the first inning, a 2-out knock that Beckham scored 2. But best thing for Brett Anderson to have his team come back and score the 1 with 2 outs at the top of this inning. Right back, no shutdown for Monday.
Part of the Manny Machado trade. One of the pieces coming over from the Dodgers. And the pitch is high. So a 2-out walk for Breivik Valera. And here's the 9th place hitter, the catcher Caleb Joseph. Caleb Joseph hitting .214 with 3 home runs. Game 1 of the series on Tuesday night. he was pinch hit for by his brother, Corbin Joseph. But Joe Walter said, "Hey, Corbin, go hit for your brother."
I think one of the most memorable is a father-son. Guy's named Griffey. And both father and son hit a home run the same game, back-to-back. But brothers on the same team, that's got to be special. Jason and Jeremy Giambi played at the same time. That was Corbin on the left. Caleb. Drafted the same year, Corbin out of high school and Caleb out of college.
0-2 pitch. That's a swing and a miss. Couple of strikeouts in the inning for Brett Anderson. Third inning coming up. 2-1 Baltimore. In your X1 voice remote and get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. The Inner Harbor here in Baltimore. You've had a nice stay.
Take the water taxi over to Fort McHenry. Learn about the national anthem. It's a nice little tour. Nick Martini was the guy who started it really last night with a base hit to left field in the 10-run third inning. Gary Thorne on the TV side. No third inning tonight because the Aces scored the 13 total in the series in the third inning.
Well, it was 10 runs on 10 hits, and the A's sent 15 hitters to the plate in last night's third inning.
And amazingly, the game took only 2 hours and 39 minutes.
Nothing going on from the other side.
Exactly. Nobody did anything afterwards.
All the runs. That's all the A's needed.
Yeah.
Driven to center, and that's hit well. Mullins back, and it sails right over his head, up over the wall on a bounce, and it's going to be a leadoff double.
That is a great shot of a hitter reacting on a hanging breaking ball or hanging softly something, because put the foot down. Here comes a hanging breaking ball, and that's all upper body as he gets the foot down, and then the ball hangs, but it keeps his bat back, and that's why he's able to hit it over Mullins' head in center field. And short hopped and over the fence, but Mullins had no chance. He was trying to play the carom off the wall, but it never came back. Got a base hit to left field last night, a double to center field tonight in his first at bat. Hope it can be as productive for him.
So Fegley will hit. Fegley at 192, couple of home runs.
I think that's why when you throw that type of curveball, you like to throw it harder, especially with 2 strikes, because if a good hitter will protect with 2 strikes, he's going to be able to hit a hanger. But if you throw it hard, he might commit when he puts the foot down and swing a pitch out of the strike zone. But Martini did it perfectly, taking advantage of the hanger straightaway center. Now it's up to Josh Phegley somehow to get him over. Trying to play a little small ball, fundamental baseball to play the leadoff double.
Laureano will be next. To pitch, and Phegley chased it in the dirt. So that's a strikeout. It's the second for Bundy.
Well, you expect a lot out of guys, but boy, if they don't play, this is where it can really hurt a player who does not get consistent playing time. And well, Josh Phegley has had some great games. That one, unfortunately, a ball in the dirt. It's the timing is off, and that usually happens if you don't play every day.
So with 1 out, here's Laureano. Tapped right at the plate, rolls into fair territory. Laureano hit a fly ball to right field in the first inning. So he's looking for their 7th consecutive win tonight. They've won 6 in a row, and they've won 8 out of their last 9. Sitting on 89 wins. After tonight, the A's will have 15 games left. Well, the way they're playing, they have a shot to get to 100 wins. Didn't think I would say that, I'm going to be honest with you.
I don't think anybody thought about it.
2-pitch, fouled at the plate again. These are 43-28 on the road. Still got a road trip coming up.
Yeah, but I don't think there are many people. The experts said maybe 73, 74 wins all season. They should have put them under 500 again, as was the case the last 3 years.
To Laureano.
That inside move that Bundy just used is one that Buck Showalter, the manager of the Orioles, would like to see eliminated. Fake to first, fake to third, throw to first. They got that one done. But he thinks the inside move by a pitcher. You know, he's on the committee. See, I can't think of the name of the committee, but I know he's on baseballs because he wants the minor leagues to have the same baseball used as the major leagues.
That would make sense.
Thank you. Especially AAA, because I know when some of the guys go in rehab, they take baseballs to the AAA so they can pitch.
It certainly seems like you would want that.
And I think that's one of the new things that Buck is pushing for, and whatever that committee might be, but it's a great idea. I mean, if you actually have guys trying to get the big leagues, you want them to use the same baseball that they use here.
Part of me that agrees with him on that inside move. If you're going to call a balk because you're trying to deceive the runner,
you're deceiving him.
You're deceiving the runner.
That's right.
With the inside move.
It's a good take by Laureano and a pitch that was not called by Angel Hernandez. But I agree, because if you can actually lift your leg and then spin, and the guy could take off and you could pick him off. Easier probably than picking off a guy at first.
In the dirt. And now the count 2-2.
I tell you, there's a lot of pitchers happy that you don't have to have 4 intentional pitches for intentional walk. And I think there are a lot of players, position players, happy that the first and third is eliminated, fake to third and throw to first, because they're guys who would bite on the first move and get picked off.
Just got a piece of it.
And the Good at bat by Laureano. Started 0-2 and a whole bunch of pitches. And fouling off a pitch that Joseph just completely, well, went under his glove. Now on one knee, which we saw Gary Sanchez do that with the Yankees, and still think it's tough to block balls in the dirt if you're on one knee. With the ball coming. Looks like Laureano's choking up even more, Kev. He's gotten up on the bat even more.
And he stayed with that breaking ball, and he does get the strikeout. So after the leadoff double, back-to-back strikeouts, 2 away.
Well, he's gone away from the more of the curveball. There's kind of a slider sharply breaking away from the right-hander. Curveball to Martini stayed in the middle of the plate. That was a perfectly thrown slider. It looked like a strike, might have been even on a called strike 3.
So it's a good late breaking pitch. First pitch strike to Matt Chapman. Chapman struck out in the first. Ace hit, tie the game. Likes to throw it.
Well, all the breaking pitches, and we showed in our open about Matt Chapman using right field. That's the time to stay back and think opposite field.
Stayed with it, and he ends up striking out 3 in a row after the leadoff double does Dylan Bundy. A's do not score. So bottom of the third from Baltimore, the Orioles leading 2-1 over the Athletics. With Cedric Mullins to lead it off. Mullins field hit in the first inning, trickled it up the third base line. That stayed fair. And he ended up coming around to score a run. Bounces this one off the glove of Anderson to Simeon, and throws to first. So it looked like Brett Anderson got a piece of that one. Maybe.
Unfortunately, got his glove on it because it looked like the ball was headed up the middle. Just deflected enough. Simeon going over to where the ball was originally headed and able to make the recovery, stop, pick it up, throw it, and get the speedy runner Mullins out with the first out of the inning. It's a nice play.
Rickard.
Anderson is at his best when he gets in a nice groove. Just rapid fire, gets the ball, throws it.
And he's starting to find one here in the third inning. Rickard had a very long at bat, 10-pitch at bat in the first inning. He ended up flying out to center field. Trying to work Anderson again here in his second at bat. Left field line, it's hit pretty well, but it's going to be foul. Brett Anderson had 39 pitches. Hit pretty well. Laureano on the move into left center field, and he makes the catch. So that's out number 2. But I bring that up, Ray. He did not have a rehab assignment.
Exactly.
And the last time he pitched, started in game, was the 27th of August.
49 pitches in that game, just 2 2/3, 7 hits, and 5 runs against the Astros at Houston. And the Astros beat the A's big time, but tried to throw the slider there. The one that was hooked down the line by Rickard was a slider, did not get it in. Same with the slider that he lined to left field, but the slider's not breaking as sharply as we have seen it, and maybe that's due to no rehab.
So the ball right at home plate. Fegley grabbed it. Angel Hernandez said it was foul. Josh Fegley wants a little explanation.
Let it roll. Well, he didn't let it roll. He's in the batter's box. It's got to go out in front. It spun out. He, with the hitter standing there, didn't let it roll. I think it was behind the line. That's the misconception is always see the spin of the baseball. If he hits behind the plate, rolls out in front. It's fair ball.
You just got to wait for it to make sure it gets out there.
Exactly. And the hitter didn't move, and that's why Fegley, although it looked like it was going to stop.
More action for Laureano. And Brett Anderson with the 3-up, 3-down inning. We are headed to the 4th. Camden Yards, 2-1 Baltimore. Final race of the season. It's the Grand Prix of Sonoma, Sunday at 3:30 on NBC Sports Network. Sonoma Raceway.
Steve Page, with the A's, is up there running the show. You ever go up and test drive those?
No, I have
cars?
never been there, but I'd like to go because I heard it's a lot of fun and it's a
Get in the car and just
pretty
let
good scene.
let her rip.
Well, I do that on the 580, Ray.
But don't get caught.
So that's out number one. Having fun.
Yeah, but
Anything can happen. Are you ready?
kind of need a checker flag though. I can't.
Oh. just broke a rib. One away here at the top of the fourth inning. A's have a magic number of 9 for postseason berth. So that's exciting. If you're into the magic number calculations, it's pretty simple. In this case, the team that's really closest to the A's, but trailing the A's, is the Rays.
That's right.
Rays are 8.5 games behind the Athletics for that second wild card spot. So the Rays would be the team you would kind of watch for. And if the A's have a magic number of 9, let's say they would win tonight, the A's, well, then it would move down 1. The Rays are not playing, so it could only move down 1. The great thing about a magic number, Ray, is it never goes up.
That's right.
It will not go up. That's a guarantee.
And to play the team that's chasing you, it's 2.
Exactly. So the point we're trying to make is, let's just say the A's win tonight because we think they're probably going to, because we're confident.
Sure.
Well, then the magic number would be 8. And they play the Rays 3 times this weekend. So by the time the A's get home for Tuesday's game, we could be getting close to some action, if you know what I'm talking about.
On the 580.
Camden Yards. Trey Mancini to lead it off. First pitch is in first strike. So the Astros are off today. They will host the Arizona Diamondbacks this weekend. And the Yankees are off today. They will host Toronto this weekend. The Yankees still have 6 games left with the Red Sox. And we should not forget this, Ray. They still have a series left with the Rays. And so do the A's. It's just one game back of the Yankees for the #1 wild card spot. Chance to host a wild card game if that's how the A's get to the postseason.
I don't think you can ever forget what the A's did in 2012 when they had 10 to play and they were 5 out. Clinched the wild card on the Monday, won the division on Wednesday. And the final 3 games of the season. So anything can happen.
2-2 to Mancini, who grounded to short in the first inning. Up the middle. Yeah, that's going to get through in the center field for a base hit.
5 months ago, Sean and I entered A's history with the 12th no-hitter in club history with his no-no against the Red Sox. Friday, September the 21st, we celebrate that special night with a Sean and I bobblehead brought to you by NBC Sports California. Grab your tickets for the special night at athletics.com/tickets. Brett Anderson just shows what happens when a pitcher falls off the mound one side or the other, and especially with the ball over the mound.
Piscotty's there, and Piscotty grabs it.
That's how you can think of Greg Maddux winning, what, 16, 17 Gold Gloves. Jim Cott, Kenny Rogers, pitchers, Mike Mussina, pitchers who finished their delivery and they were there, ready to catch the ball. And it's huge, especially with balls that hit right over the mound, because there's no way second baseman or shortstop is going to get to the ball. There you see the opening up the middle. Brett Anderson happens to fall just towards the third base side, and the ball hit by Mancini. While it was not hit that hard, it was perfectly placed and ended up being a base hit.
Nunez takes a strike. Renato Nunez thought he had a base hit in the second inning, but Matt Chapman dove to his left. A very hard hit ball. Threw out Nunez. And that's a base hit to center field. Mancini will get to second and stop. So a couple of hits here for the Orioles. They got something going in the fourth.
The breaking ball again, and that's been the difference for Brett Anderson tonight. It's not really been a sharply thrown breaking ball, and we saw last night with Castro giving up everything that he did was mostly on breaking pitches.
So that'll bring up Andrioli, who struck out. After the first pitch, fouls at second level. Five hits now for the Orioles. The A's have a couple. Swing and a miss. Good off-speed pitch by Anderson. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts for Brett so far.
Pretty lights.
He's hit there. And that one rolls up the first base line. It sounded, just from us sitting up here, it sounded like it hit the foot of Andrioli, but it did not. It just kind of clanked against something and then rolled away. So both the runners move up.
It had to be Fegley's body. If it
was just the chest protector.
He didn't know where it was. Usually hit the chest protector. You want it to be soft and drop straight down, but
So infield comes in. Breaking ball is high, so 2-2 the count. On deck is Breivik Valera.
Unfortunately, that's a big 90 feet because no double play possibility. The A's have to bring or do bring the infield in. Whether or not they have to, they do. Anderson looking for a strikeout.
With a fastball at 93 miles an hour. Mancini is the runner at third. Nunez the runner at second. Infielders they're in. They're not all the way in. Anderson grabs it. Anderson's throw to the plate. It's wild. Goes to the backstop. The run's going to be safe, and then Nunez has to hustle back to third, and it's 3-1 Orioles. Brett Anderson, he just could not get his body turned toward home plate to make a more accurate throw.
It'd been better if he'd done a 360, Cap. I think just based on the way he handled the ball right there. But either that or flipped the ball underhand. Fortunately, it hit hard enough on the back wall. They're going to take a look at him, Ryan Shulman. But this point right there and threw it off balance. But the ball did come back hard enough off the concrete back wall. He fell down. Something happened. Boy, that's we talked last time where the ball came back off the back wall, and a little bit of a collision at the plate. But fortunately, nobody else able to advance, especially the runner from third.
So I think they said single RBI.
Had to be, yeah.
So there's really. Yeah, there was no advancement because of the throw going back to the screen.
And that would have constituted an error, but I agree that just a slow hit ball and runner going on contact, and that was Mancini able to score.
So Anderson looks like he's going to be okay. Runners are at first and third. So again, Andriola gets a single and an RBI. And here's Valera. Run in for the Orioles, and now they're looking for more. Valera, center field, and that's a base hit. Doesn't hit real hard, but drops it into center for an RBI single. 4-1 Orioles.
Bob Melvin going to the mound. That's probably the last pitch for Brett Anderson, and again, he's just not sharp with the breaking pitches. I think that's the thing. He keeps going to it, and hit towards the end of the bat, but straight away center field, and that's where the majority have gone in this inning.
So Brett Anderson, 3 1/3 innings, and when it's time for change, think Speedy, Oil Change, and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts.
NBC Sports California is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
So the Orioles have scored twice here in the bottom of the fourth inning. They lead 4-1. Brett Anderson out after 3 1/3. Up 7 hits, 4 hits in this inning. So a walk, 2 strikeouts. So he has gone early, and Sean Kelly comes in just to try to get this inning over with and get back in the dugout. 48th appearance for Kelly. It's his 13th appearance as a member of the Athletics. He's done a very good job. His last outing was on Sunday, and he was the winning pitcher.
Yeah, he came in a similar situation, and of course it was Trevor Cahill started that game. 3 walks in the first inning. Fortunately got out with only 1 run allowed, and short outing for him, and we hope he is okay after traveling back to Arizona to be checked.
Kelly with the Washington Nationals close by. On the 5th of August.
Could have had a makeup game today.
Yeah, they did. Cubs very unhappy about having to go to Washington to make up the game. Not sure that the schedule completely revolves around the Chicago Cubs, does it?
I guess if you ask them,
like it does, but
I mean, what's the other option, to wait till the end of the season?
well, the Cubs wanted to have a say in the options.
Huh. Okay. I thought the commissioner's office said, let's play them whenever we can. Mutual off day, we play them.
But that was inconvenient for the Cubs. The Cubbies.
Well, at least they changed the game tomorrow from a night or a day to a night game.
In Chicago. Cubs won that game today, 4-3 in extra inning. Just ended. Cubs extend their lead over the Brewers to a 1.5 games in the National League Central.
And a team that close, that's why they have to be made up. You know, Major League Baseball really can't afford to have all the makeup games when the season ends. No, there's not enough time.
And you don't want to do it on the 1st of October.
No. I mean, after all, the wild card game in the National League starts on Tuesday. American League on Wednesday. So the 2nd and 3rd, the 2 wild card games.
I think the Cubs will survive.
Yeah.
They're going to be okay. They had to play today.
Did you say, or somebody say, Anthony Rizzo actually wore his uniform on the plane and slept in a I wonder if he wore his cleats.
2-2 the count to Caleb Joseph. Rioli at second, Valera at first. Battle here. 7th pitch coming up from Kelly to Joseph.
That's a smart play by Kelly, as Jed Lowry hurriedly went in to maybe have a pickoff play, but once Kelly saw Jed Lowry move to the bag, he stepped off so Jed can get back in his somewhat normal position. There's some thought that Andrioli's going to be on the move. A couple of inside moves by Kelly.
Hit to left field. Martini to his right, and he makes the catch. 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th. A couple of runs in. And now to the top of the order in Cedric Mullins. The Orioles in the first 2 games of this series, a total of 2 runs. They have scored 4 tonight. Last night, just 1 hit. And it was a first inning single. They did not have a runner in scoring position. And and their final 20 batters were retired last night. They just didn't do anything offensively. Much better tonight. Mullins a single and a run scored in the first, and then he grounded to short in the third. Strike call. His first two at-bats tonight were right-handed against lefty Anderson. Mullins getting a long look. Could he be the everyday center fielder next year for the Orioles?
Well, there's some in the Orioles say that they didn't particularly want him switch hitting, but if it's something that he's been accustomed to as a leadoff hitter, it should be the best thing, especially if he has a good on-base percentage.
Limited numbers here, but he's hitting 174 right-handed, 260 left-handed, but really not enough to make a decision. You got 23 at-bats right here.
Bob Melvin brought Sean Kelly in with one thing in mind: to stop the bleeding in this inning, try to get back to the dugout, and who knows how long Kelly will pitch after this inning, but trying to get the third out.
And it looks like he's going to. A little pop-up toward Chapman. Chapman has it, and that will do it. 2 runs on 4 hits for the Orioles. 5th inning coming up. Baltimore 4 and the A's 1.
Push get A's home screen icons and features such as live radio broadcasts, the MLB TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlight stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today.
Top of the 5th with Piscotty leading it off. Dylan Bundy's been pretty good so far. The only run was Piscotty's solo home run in the 2nd inning. 4 strikeouts. Just a couple of hits off Bundy. Scoops it up and he throws across.
Positive note for the Athletics was Stephen Piscotty in the 2nd inning when he hit this 0-1 fastball over the out-of-town scoreboard to right field. And that Made it a 2-1 game, but the Orioles would add 2 more last inning. Now it's back to 4-1.
Home run extended the hitting streak to 14 games. First pitch. St. Marcus won around. 0-1. Simeon hit a fly ball to center field to end the second inning. Dylan Bundy coming into this start. Last 6 starts, 0-4. A couple of no decisions and 34 earned runs in 28 2/3 innings. So it has been a struggle. But he's pitching well so far tonight. Corey Guerin gets up. Fair ball tips off the glove of a diving Nunez. Rolls off the sidewall, and it's going to be a double for Marcus Simeon. Double number 33 for Simeon.
Another one of those off-speed pitches you talked about. Kuypen is able to reach out and rake it to the third base side and past the diving Nunez. Could not come up with it. Double with 1 out. The A's couldn't do anything with Martini's leadoff double in the 3rd. Trying to do something with this double.
A's with 5 players that have more than 30 doubles. As a team, they now have over 300 doubles. 301. Line drive, base hit left field by Martini. Simeon's going to come around to score, and it's 4-2.
Martini's going to make a lot of money if he keeps doing that. As you mentioned, he did it last night in the 3rd inning. Double to center field, and how about this base hit with a runner at second base going opposite field? Well, Bundy could really pause in his set. Boy, stayed back, inside out swing over Nunez's head, just maybe off his glove, but into left field. Matt Williams, Andreoli throwing, just got the ball back into second base. Didn't even attempt to throw to the plate. God, that's what we're talking about. When you throw to the plate, you hit the cutoff man, maybe you get an out. But if you just give up and throw to second, in the case of what we saw Mullins on Tuesday night and Andreoli that time, sometimes a throw, and of course the important thing is to hit the cutoff man, let the cutoff man make the decision. But if you just lob the ball back in to second base, you're not going to think about getting out. But that man's pretty aggressive. He's done a great job for the A's coaching 3rd this year, Matt Williams.
Pitch to Fegley is a strike on the inside corner. So Nick Martini 2 for 4 last night, 2 for 2 tonight. Fegley struck out in the 3rd inning. Good swing there, fouls it straight back.
Josh Fegley would like to get a mistake. That would be great. He's very strong. Gets a mistake that Bundy might hang a breaking ball. Could do some damage.
Checks his swing. Did not go around.
It's a hanging breaking ball, but as we saw in his last at bat, got a steady diet of sharp breaking pitches away. The hanger, usually a hitter with a couple of strikes just reacts on a ball that stays towards the middle part of the plate and in. Especially as a right-hander, you just react on a hanger and try to yank it to left field.
Strike 3 called on the inside corner. So Fegley just could pull the trigger on that inside pitch.
Wasn't a hanger, it's a fastball perfectly located and struck out on pitches away. This time Caleb Joseph calls the heater in, 93, and frees a hitter. It's a great pitch, and he froze it.
I think Josh Fegley was looking for a breaking ball.
Exactly.
2 outs for Laureano. Laureano has hit a fly ball to right field, and he has struck out. He's 3 for 12 in the series. Beckham had a 2-run single, but then Beckham was thrown out, rounding first on that play. Laureano would get an assist on that. It's his 6th assist. He's done that in just 33 games. Outfield assists are hard to come by.
Yeah, they are, and you're right about he wasn't involved in the actual throw to pick off, throw somebody out, but he has initiated the out, and the result was an assist.
So 2-1 the count to Ramon Laureano. Sharp breaking ball snaps in there.
Breaking ball we're talking about with Fegley. Laureano. That's a gift pitch. I mean, that's a pitch that's on the outside corner, and according to Angel Hernandez, caught enough of the plate to be called a strike.
Martini, the runner at first. A little bit down. So full count, 2 outs, and Trey Mancini, the first baseman, will play behind Martini.
Now, if he's got the confidence of a breaking pitch, and Joseph, see what you're going to call. It's a slider.
Here's Martini, and he got him swinging. So that is strikeout number 6, but a run for the A's. The RBI single by Nick Martini, 4-2 Baltimore.
Off the back of an A's player or coach following the game on September the 22nd. Fans will make a donation to the Oakland A's Community Fund at home games from September the 1st to the 22nd. Will receive a scratcher card for the chance to win. Fans will also have the chance to win autographed baseballs, A's swag, 2019 suite, and more. Find a designated team member throughout the ballpark or visit section 217 for your chance to win. Jerseys off the back. What a great deal.
So 4-2, bottom of the 5th inning. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts. Corey Guerin comes in for the Athletics. Sean Kelly got the final 2 outs in the 4th inning. 2 in the 1st, 2 in the 4th for the Orioles. So 60th appearance for Corey Guerin. This is his our 3rd team that he has been with so far this year. Giants, Rangers, and now the Athletics. First pitch is a strike.
As you mentioned, for Sean Kelly, his job was to stop the bleeding in the 4th. He did that. A couple of runners on base. Got a line drive, a fly ball to left field. Got a fly ball to 3rd base, and out of the inning was Sean Kelly. And Guerin comes in, and see who remained of the bullpen comes in.
A little bit inside, 1-1. Rickard, VR, and Mancini. Bottom of the 5th. Hitters 2, 3, and 4 in the lineup. At the end of the bat, and it's going to drop for a hit. Rickard has a leadoff single.
He's seen a lot of pitches tonight, and finally gets a base hit off the end of the bat. But Corey Guerin trying to keep the Orioles off the board after the A's made it a 2-run game. This whole bullpen has done a very good job keeping the opposition from scoring, and Sean Kelly did his part. Scott Emerson's not wasting any time. He's on the bullpen phone after other 17 guys down there. So
you just keep the phone in your hand.
As Emo said, when the phone rings, say you're ready to pitch. So it could be any one of a multitude of pitchers down in the pen called upon.
VR shows bunt, takes a strike. Rickard made a bluff towards second base.
Well, you could actually hear somebody say, there he goes. And as a left-handed hitter, that's what Fegley is depending on somebody to yell that he is going. Came out quickly in the event Rickard actually did run. He did not.
So there's action. Dean Peekeffer throwing, and he's loosening up quickly. Bunted in the air. Chapman is going to get there, and he grabs it in foul territory. So Matt Chapman saw VR show bunt, came charging in, and grabbed it in foul territory. 1 away.
Yeah, that time actually trying to drag the ball to the right side and thrown a little bit too hard by Guerin. Could not get around. That's called dragging, running out of the batter's box and trying to drag the ball with you towards the right side, but ball thrown hard. VR hit the ball in the air, and nice play by Chapman.
Mancini is grounded to short. He singled and scored in the 4th inning. This is outside, so the count 1-0 to Mancini. Beckham will be next.
That's a direction. That's pretty impressive by the right-hander to kind of spread them out. We got 73 center field, opposite field by the right-hander. It's pretty good hitting.
Hit home runs here if you're a right-handed hitter. I mean, that's a short wall out in right field. It's high. It's 25 feet high above that out-of-town scoreboard. And so Piscotty do it tonight.
Exactly, and you take the out-of-town scoreboard and remove that, and then you have Yankee Stadium, and it can really go easily to right field. because that's a short wall all the way around without the. I mean, it used to be a taller out-of-town scoreboard, but they reduced the height of it.
2-1 now. Straightaway defense by the Athletics. Stop. That takes away the double play. Rickard to second. Count is 3-1 to a power hitter. Home runs for Mancini.
Breaking ball that Rickard hit. There's another big breaking ball, just breaking too sharply.
Careful here. Didn't miss by much, but a little bit inside. So 2 on and 1 out. So here comes Tim Beckham. Beckham, a 2-run single in the first inning. Kind of like, remember in basketball, Ray, long time ago, before they had the 24-second shot clock.
Stalling.
And guys could just stall. The 4-corner offense. Slow things down. Swing. No one won the count.
He's ready.
Now starts to throw, so plenty of action.
He's ready. He threw one.
He is.
Rydal doesn't take many.
Beckham rolls it foul. So the count 0-2. Renato Nunez is the on-deck hitter. Beckham also hit a fly ball to right field. That was in the 4th inning. Lowry trying to keep Rickard close at second base. Rickard has pretty good speed. Chapman grabs it. He fires to second. Double play.
That's getting out of something there.
So Chapman jumped up, caught it, and then gunned it over to second. And nicely done by the Athletics.
Smart play today brought to you by your California Ford dealers with the young man leading off. Started the double play, line drive, catch, throw. Jed Lowry at the bag. And what a play by Matt Chapman and Jed Lowry, jumping, throwing. And the runner off second base just a little bit too far, and a great double play to get the A's out of the inning.
And Chapman leading it off. He has struck out twice against Bundy. See if he can figure him out. Fouls this one into the upper deck.
Well, this is all about timing the jump, but he had to throw right to the bag, and really the runner was not that far off second, but Jed Lowry playing at second, able to get to the bag, and Chapman, of course, making a perfect throw, like a 5-4-3 double play beginning that. But this was just a perfect rope to second. So Rob Nunez catches a ball that over his head's a double, turns it into a double play.
And now 2-2. Lowry to follow, and then Davis here in the top of the 6th inning. He's with single runs in the 2nd and in the 5th. Got him swinging. Well, that's the 3rd time that Chapman has struck out, all 3 swinging. 7 strikeouts now for Dylan Bundy.
Well, sometimes you just can't figure him out, and that's a breaking ball thrown a little bit harder. But last night he had a similar curveball against Cashner down the left field line.
Well, Bundy is a strikeout guy. I mean, he's got more strikeouts than innings pitched this year. First pitch to Lowry misses high. Lowry a pop out to short and a grounder to first.
And Bundy is able to do by throwing strikes, keep his pitch count down until at just 78 in the 6th inning. We were talking last night about Cashner getting no run support. Bundy's just the opposite. After last year, the game that he started against the A's on the 12th of August, had 7 runs on the board before he took the mound. Sean and I didn't make it out of the 1st inning.
Jed with a mighty swing, so a 2-0, like maybe a changeup. Broken bat, little soft line drive. Valera, the second baseman, has it. Jed Lowry has the handle of the bat in his hand. The barrel of the bat is out on the infield grass.
That was a clean break there. Don't see that often. Got inside on him, and Jed Lowry. That went almost as far as the baseball did. Did all that taking job on the bat. It's gone.
Got it just the way he liked it.
Yeah. Felt good in his hands, and he gone.
Well, 2 outs, and Chris Davis with a mighty swing and a miss. Davis a ground out to 3rd and a ground out to short. Shift is on. 3 infielders on the left side for Davis. Chris Davis is 3 for 10 in the series. That one called a strike. Looks like it may have been a little bit high. Kicks and deals, and the ball is lined left field, base hit. Andrioli on the backhand pickup, and a 2-out single by Chris Davis, and it comes on an 0-2 pitch.
It's a good swing. That's very powerful for Chris Davis. The breaking ball just reached out. That's upper body, and it's amazing the power, the strength he has to just take a pitch that's pretty good offering by the pitcher, but yet turns it into a base hit.
So that is hit number 5. And here's Matt Olson. Olson can get into one, tie up this game. Oh, could be a thing of beauty. It's going to be a base hit for Matt Olson, a check swing roller down the 3rd base line.
They never make up, but that is a thing of beauty. A little bit harder. It's a double, second and third, but just a check swing, got it on his hands and placed perfectly. The ball down the third baseline, no chance. That's better than a bunt. She tried to do it at the Coliseum before he hit the home run to win the game.
So 2 on 2 out, and here's Piscotty, a hot hitter. Piscotty homered in the second. That extended his hitting streak to 14 games. He's got 9 home runs and 23 RBIs in his last 23 games.
And he has hit some big ones. Also hit a lot of doubles. That would be a thing of beauty. So either one of them right now would be great.
First pitch is a little bit inside. .86 pitches now for Dylan Bundy. He was rolling along, but the 5th inning he threw a fair amount. Same thing this inning. So it has, pitch count has gone up quickly.
Well, the opposite field. This is something that, of course, nobody on base. A couple of outs, goes opposite field. Not a bad pitch by Bundy. Fastball to the outside part of the plate. Good swing by Stephen Piscotty.
And that one right down the middle. So Piscotty took it, and now he's behind in the count 1 and 2. And he got it. So he went back to really his go-to pitch, especially with 2 strikes and that breaking ball, and he gets his 8th strikeout, and the A's strand a pair in the 6th.
By the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
4-2 Orioles lead the A's, bottom of the 6th inning. And when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts. Is Ryan Dole comes in for his 24th appearance. He's the 4th pitcher of the night for the A's. No record. ERA just a shade over 5 for Ryan Dole. Anderson 3 1/3, Kelly 2/3, Guerin 1 inning. These were not Laureano Nunez leads things off, and the first pitch is in for a strike. Orioles, the opposite of the A's. The A's have won 6 in a row. The Orioles have lost 6 in a row. 41-104 is the record for the Orioles. You know, Ray, it's just the 3rd time in the Orioles' 65 years here in Baltimore where they have lost over 100 games. Just the 3rd time. Had a lot of success.
I'll be honest with you, I was surprised when I found out that the Red Sox won the 100th game for the first time
since 46.
Yeah, I mean that's you just don't expect it. As they talked about their World Series drought, but as far as 100 games,
skied on the infield where Chapman comes in on the grass. And he's got it. Well, Sunday, Craig Papa, Dante Whitner joined Jeff Garcia at 49ers pre and post game live 1 hour before and after the Niners face the Lions this week on NBC Sports Bay Area Plus. And if you're going to go to the game, stop by our set, Faithful Mile to win prizes and maybe get yourself on TV. The home of the authentic 49ers fan is NBC Sports Bay Area. 1 away for John Andrioli. But the 2 other seasons that the Orioles lost over 100 games besides this one, 1954, and that was their very first year. And that was when the schedule was 154 games. They were 54-100. And more recently, and Ray, you'll remember this was 1988. They were 54-107. That's the worst record in franchise history. And they got off to a little bit of a slow start.
Very slow start.
They lost their first 21 games.
Yeah, and then Cal Ripken's father was the manager. That was it. But at the time, it was Cal Sr. and his 2 sons playing on the same team.
Well, just 2 years ago, the Orioles were a postseason team. They were the 2nd wild card team in 2016, and they won 89 games. They won the division in 2014. But last year dropped to 75-87. And I don't know what has happened this year. That one is drilled to right center field. That's a base hit. Laureano gets over there quickly. Trying for second is Valera. The throw is right there, and he's out. That was easy pickings for Ramon Laureano. He got to it quickly, and that's really where it all started. And he looked up. Valera was running, and he made a perfect throw.
I mean, this is like a catcher throwing to second where they put the tag down. Wow. Got him at 10 feet.
not a bad idea for the young man to try to go for two. Line drive into right center, but the scouting report on Ramon Laureano is don't run on him because that is a perfect throw to second. Listen, if he could throw it 321 feet from left center to first base on the line, on the fly, he could definitely do it to second. He did it with plenty of time. And Marcus Semien taking the ball, and this is seriously like a catcher throwing to second base where the second baseman shortstop could just catch it and tag. It's a hard slide into Marcus Semien and got him on the chest, and I think maybe Lara might have been fooled a little bit with the strong throw. Perfectly thrown by Laureano.
Yeah, you said hard slide. I say bad slide.
Well, that was bad. He almost hurt everybody.
Well, he slowed down too.
Well, he probably thought he was going to be safe easily, but he wasn't.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts as Miguel Castro comes in. A workhorse out of the Orioles bullpen. 59th appearance. And Jace Peterson comes in the game at third base. Nunez is out. And that's a ball. 1-1 the count. Semien doubled and scored in the fifth. Hit a fly ball to center field in the second. He's 2 for 10 in the series. He's going to bounce right on top of the Orioles dugout. Red Sox are playing tonight, but the Yankees are not. Astros are not. So a easy night for us as far as scoreboard watching goes. The Angels and the Mariners will play a little bit later on. Red Sox are beating the Blue Jays 3-1 that game in the 6th inning. Looking for win number 101 on the year.
Orioles do have some guys come out of the bullpen that can throw hard, and Castro is one of them, and he can get it up in the upper 90s. Slider and changeup that he throws. He's not pitched in the series, pitched back on the 6th, and a couple of appearances last year against the Athletics.
Marcus reached for it and hits a fly ball toward center where Mullins moves to his left and he's got it.
Time now for Built for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. For Nick Martini, a hanging breaking ball off Bundy, a double off the center field wall. Actually ground rule, but this is a very impressive ball over the head of Nunez into left field, scoring Marcus Semien. So Nick Martini, a couple of hits tonight and trying to keep it going and have a good night, trying to get the A's to come back in this inning, this game.
Martini had a good series, having a good series, swinging a hot bat. His average up to 287. Look at the on-base percentage, 391. And 14 walks, and this is 42nd game. Remember Martini in AAA this year, 76 games, 276 at bats. His on-base percentage was 406. Matt Joyce is out there on deck circle. He's going to hit for Fegley. Martini reached for that one a little bit. So 1-2 the count. The glove of Mancini, and that's another hit for Nick Martini. He's 3 for 3. He's got 5 hits in the last 2 nights.
Well, just smart hitting and really not thinking about trying to do too much and try to hit home runs. Well, how about a stat cast on Laureano's throw? See where he's playing more in left center. He's running to get the ball to 360. That's just impressive.
Then to pick up Marcus Simeon at second base. Arm strength 87.5 miles per hour. The throw, another great one, right on the money. The accuracy is the thing that's unbelievable. What he did in Anaheim and this one, and his throws to the plate, his throws to third. It's not like they're way offline. All the infielder has to do, or the catcher, is catch and throw or catch and tag. And it's just unbelievable the way he is throwing the ball.
So 1-0 the count to the pinch hitter Matt Joyce. But if you watch that replay, as he gets about maybe 10 feet from the baseball, he starts to slow down a little bit to set himself up to spin around, which I thought was very interesting. Blair's going to throw to first to get the out there, back to second, and that is a double play. So nicely done by Breivik Valera, the second baseman, and the Orioles turn the double play. 7th inning stretch time coming up. 4-2 Orioles.
You'd like to donate for a good cause. If you have that, then you can call the Oakland Athletics, teaming up with Pitch In for Baseball to host an equipment drive at the Coliseum September the 22nd. Bring your equipment to C Gate, D Gate, or the Bart Plaza entrance and receive 2 free tickets that night's game, 6:05 against the Minnesota Twins. All equipment will go to Oakland Athletic League. More information at athletics.com/community. Spikes, mids, anything you have is all good stuff for a good cause.
Yusmeiro Petit comes in 7-3, 3.14 ERA. So Petit here in the 7th inning. He last pitched on Sunday. Chapman leaps up and grabs it. So Caleb Joseph goes after the first pitch. He lines out. Tough to get one past Matt Chapman tonight. That's Bo Taylor who comes in the game. Begley was pinch hit. So now to the top of the order in Cedric Mullins. We'll talk about Yusmeiro Petit a lot, Ray. He's just kind of quietly going about his job, and he's really having a good year. He has the 2nd most innings pitched among American relievers. He's thrown 86 innings.
Well, that's because coming in, he's able to throw multiple innings and able to do it pretty consistently.
He's tied for 4th in the league in games. He's right around the plate. Doesn't walk a lot of guys.
And Bob Melvin knows that he could go to him and get out of some tough jams.
In front of the A's dugout, Chapman. Can't believe he didn't catch it. He's going to climb right up
Not into the foul territory we see at the Coliseum, and that is the difference.
0-2 to Cedric Mullins. Strike 3 call, a little delayed call by Angel Hernandez. 2-0.
Well, they shook off to get the pitch he wanted to throw, and it was a perfectly thrown fastball outside corner. Really not thrown that hard. And two-seamer set up on the corner as Bo Taylor.
Here's Joey Rickard. Rickard takes a strike. 2 fly balls to center field and a single for Rickard. One and one the count. That's Paul Fry, left-hander warming up. Right on the outside corner. Foul. It's up, but coming out where Petit wanted it. Merrill Petit's got a 2-year contract, so he's sitting around next year, which is good news.
And he's also with those close-ups. He's got a son, Samuel, who puts a time change school in session. He can watch Daddy pitch with back on the West Coast, so he's happy. As Merrill said, he's really into the game of baseball. I mentioned about one Samuel. He says, yeah, that's Samuel. It's his son's name. One longtime player with the Phillies. Coach.
Simeon has it. Fires to first, but not in time. Throw was a little low. Rickard was going to beat it out anyways. So that's a base hit for Joey Rickard. He's pretty fast.
Well, they got out of the box quickly, and the ball up the middle. And see where Simeon's playing, how far he had to go, and threw quickly. I think you're exactly right. He was across the bag even before the ball bounced, and also not able to handle it.
So hit number 10 for Baltimore. That'll get up Jonathan Villar.
He had to get rid of it quickly, and he did. So the Orioles right now have 10 times more hits than they had last night.
Just one last night.
Just one. 10 tonight. What Showalter was saying tonight, he says, since we only got one hit, maybe we should take BP. And they did, and so far it's paid off.
Villar spun out of the way. Swing and a miss. Good off-speed pitch by Yusmeiro Petit. He's always around the plate.
I think Petit is the type of pitcher that can eliminate plate 17 inches wide. It's one of those that kind of goes for the corners, eliminates the middle 15.
Runner goes. Throw to second base. Got it. Bo Taylor throws out Joey Rickard with a nice throw right on the bag, and Rickard is retired. So that's got to be a good feeling for the rookie catcher. Check it out.
Pitch out, good pitch out, and throw right on the money.
does this, and then, well, in the dugout, a lot of guys coming up to him saying, hey, nice job.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's a good moment.
Throw right on the bag. I mean, pitch outs sometimes are not the best because you feel he has so much time, but he threw a bullet to second base right on the money. And there's the quick tag. That's why they took a little time to look at it, but Marcus Semien applied a very quick tag with Rickett trying to go around it. But very nice to see all the players come up and fist pump and high fives.
So top of the order for the A's here in the 8th. Miguel Castro stays in there.
This is it. Ryan Christensen, Bob Melvin, of course, and everybody else. Ray Reardon, the AAA manager. So very nice for a young man who in the big leagues for the first time. Caught an inning in Oakland, pitched it last night. Caught an inning and comes in tonight.
Laureano's 0 for 3 tonight, but he has a pair of outfield assists. How about that? It's hard to get one in a game. He's got 2. Up the middle on a base hit. So a good start for the A's here in the 8th inning. And we got the big hitters coming up.
So if the magic of the 8th inning continues for the A's as they're down to the last 2 at-bats, 2 innings, and this is what you try to do just to start it. Gets a fastball towards the middle of the plate. Good velocity from Castro, but right over the pitcher's mound into center field.
So here's Matt Chapman. Matt Chapman is 0 for 3. He's struck out 3 times, so a little bit of a tough night offensively for Chapman, but he's been terrific defensively, making a handful of nice plays. And it's a quick 0-2 right at the bottom of the strike zone. Pretty good pitch by Castro. Chapman stands well off the plate, slightly open stance. And that's a base hit right field. On an 0-2 count, Laureano makes the turn and stays at second.
That's a thing of beauty. Man, is that a thing of beauty. Strongly 3 strikeouts, get 0-2 in the 4th at bat, and then ball runs back in. Buck Showalter going to the mound after this ball into right field. Unfortunately, Laureano didn't try to go to third base on a ball to right field, and you're down a couple of runs. You don't want to run into an out, and he did stop, and A's have something going in the 8th inning.
So 2 on, nobody out. Fry coming in the lefty to face Lowry.
authority of the Oakland Athletics. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
So the A's have something going here in the top of the 8th inning. Down by 2, but 2 on, nobody out. Now there are 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up. They will face Paul Fry, or at least Lowry will face Paul Fry.
Well, we've seen Jed Lowry turned around right-handed to see if he can do something against the left-hander batting right-handed. Saw Fry last night.
Which is down and into Lowry. Lowry's 0 for 3. He's 2 for 9 in this series. He scored a couple of runs. He's walked a couple of times. He has 1 RBI in the series. And that's a strike. Lots of speed. Laureano at second, Chapman at first. Down and in. He's have done so much damage in the 8th inning this year.
Yes.
Whether it be at home or on the road. And now it's 2-2.
This is a percentage thing. Buck Showalter going with the matchups, and of course Jed Lowry faces more righties than lefties, and that's why I turned him around. And to your point where you said 1 batter, probably yet. I think with Chris Davis coming up, righty would come in.
2-2 pitch. Here it is. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Lowry doesn't agree. Let's see where the pitch was.
Perfectly thrown. That is about as perfectly thrown as it could be. And Jed couldn't pull the trigger. Angel Hernandez called it. Chris Davis will face the lefty.
So Davis steps up. 2 ground balls and a single for Davis. Pitch down and in.
Yeah, Cap, this could be also with Matt Olson, the on deck circle, with Bob Melvin having switch right and left, and then Piscotty right. So you bring a righty in to face Chris Davis, and maybe another lefty if you have him in the bullpen to go. Well, they have plenty to go to Matt Olson.
Pop up toward the seats and just into the camera well there right next to the Orioles dugout. So the count 1-1 to Chris Davis. 41 home runs. He leads the major leagues in home runs.
No, he hasn't hit a 3-run home run lately.
Well, worse times to do it than right now. Second in the major leagues in RBIs with 110. A little bit inside, 92 miles an hour from Fry. 106 runs scored in the 8th inning by the A's this year. That is clearly the most in all of baseball. And so now Davis is sitting pretty at 3-1.
We always say late in the game, pitch a guy outside, tip your hat if he goes opposite field. This is not the guy you figure you can get out, because he can go opposite field.
Well, Gibbons is ready out in the bullpen. And he walked it. So the bases are loaded for Olson. I don't want to say, Ray, that he pitched around him.
I thought that too,
but he pitched very carefully.
Very careful. You're right. Because Givens, if he could get Olson, Givens would probably come in to face Piscotty. So, to your point, that's exactly right. And see if Olson can do the same.
First pitch to Olson, just a little bit outside.
Well, speaking of 3-run home runs, this occurred last night against Andrew Kachner. A 10-run inning for the Athletics in the third. This was a highlight. This made it 5-0 with an opposite field home run on a 3-1 fastball, and Hayes would add 5 more after that.
Missed inside. So Fry has missed outside and now inside. And the count is 2-0.
They missed with a breaking pitch, first offering taken by Matt Olson.
Pop-up foul. 91 miles an hour. Olson with a good swing. Chapman Davis are the runners. And now it's 3-1.
I don't think Piscotty will face Fry, but in the case of Matt Olson, just think opposite field like he did last night. I think the pitch inside was a mistake that he pulled off on, and fortunately hit it foul.
And a strike ball. Olson didn't think so. And now it's 3-2.
Well, outside's the target. Upper part of the strike zone. It was on the corner according to the box, but Matt Olson thought he had a walk. Now he's faced with either a fastball or a slider. Just be patient.
3-2 pitch is popped up, but it was a breaking ball.
The old saying is you still have to sit fastball to make an adjustment. He did it to foul it off. You still have to look for the fastball.
All right, let's see what happens here.
How about that? It's not a happy manager.
And that one is way outside, and he walked him. And now it's 4-3 as Laureano trots home.
And here comes Joe Water for Givens, and the good part about this is just 1 out, and Piscotty has a chance again.
So he's with a chance to tie it and maybe take the lead. grade with training camp set to begin. They acquired two-time Norris Trophy winner Erik Karlsson from the Ottawa Senators in a 6-player deal. Draft picks are included, players are included, but this is a big deal for the Sharks as they get a terrific defenseman, Erik Karlsson. So big news coming out of San Jose with the Sharkies.
That's great. Congratulations.
Sharks got to get that Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I was going to say that may be the thing that does it right there. Huh? Let's hope so.
So Michael Gibbons against Stephen Piscotty, bases loaded, 1-run game.
Gibbons has been good against the Athletics this year.
First pitch is a strike.
In Oakland, he faced the A's 2 innings. The walk-off by Chris Davis, but he pitched 2 innings, struck out 5 of the 6 batters. But yet an 0-7 record. 6 for 10 in save opportunities.
That one way inside. Count 1-1 to Piscotty, a home run, a ground out, and a strikeout for the A's right fielder. So the A's looking for late inning magic again. We have seen it really from day one this season. And count 1 and 2. Heck, the A's walked off on opening day.
Yes, they did. Might have been a pitch out of the strike zone, but Gibbons kind of drops down a little bit and slings the slider, and Piscotty could not hold up his swing on a pitch out of the strike zone. Yes, he did. Chris Davis with a 3-run home run, followed by Matt Olson, and back-to-back to tie it.
1-2 pitch, and Piscotty just got a piece of it. 6 miles an hour.
Piscotty is able to wait and be quick on a fastball, which he had to be with a 96. I think he's got to see the slider before this at bat maybe gets to 3-2.
Gibbons deals. Piscotty spoils a good pitch, loops one down the right field line, foul.
If you're a hitter, that's a great at bat. If you're a pitcher, you don't like it because you just made a perfect pitch, but you fouled it off. The base runners.
So another 1-2. Here it is. And another foul ball. Simeon to follow. Opponents with the bases loaded against Michael Gibbons. 3 for 15. Swing and a miss, struck him out. So he went just a little up and in, a pretty well placed fastball to get Piscotty, and that's a huge strikeout.
Thought he'd go back to the slider. He stayed with a fastball and target away, pitch up and in, and got the job done. But Piscotty fouled off some tough pitches, but that he could not make contact. And Gibbons, as he did in Oakland. Second appearance in this series, but big one was in Oakland.
It's up to Marcus Simeon. First pitch is inside.
You have to wonder, Captain, that hard sweeping slider that he throws if he's concerned with a runner at third base. And for his catcher, Caleb Joseph, to try to block it if he throws it.
Right field. Rickard is going to have a play, and he's got it. So Gibbons with a heck of a job. The A's get 1, and they leave them loaded. 4-3 as we go to the bottom of the 8th.
by Toyota. Designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Xfinity. X1 will change the way you experience TV.
Game summary for tonight brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 3-9-0 for the A's, 4-10-0 for the Orioles. Bottom of the 8th inning, so one more shot for the Athletics. Brett Anderson left in the 4th inning, 3 1/3. Piscotty, 14-game hitting streak thanks to his home run. And Nick Martini, 2 hits last night, 3 more hits tonight. And now it's Jeurys Familia coming in. Familia on Tuesday night got the save, and it was his first save as a member of the Athletics. So he's back out there tonight.
Yeah, Bob Melvin, I thought, made an interesting statement that Trinan had the day off. It was planned. And of course, he had 2 of the closers, Rodney and Familia, got the save. And he said he's back to his normal, which is what he did with the Mets. And he was ecstatic. He said he was really pumped after the save, especially with the A's winning 3-2. Trying to get through the bottom of the 8th and have an A's come back and pick up a win.
0-1 to Jonathan VR. Strike call it. VR can't believe it as he stares back at Angel Hernandez. Pitches fouled straight back. VR has singled and scored, hit a fly ball to center field, and fouled out to third. He fouled out one a time. One for a hit. Grounded right to Lowry. Scoops it up. VR is retired, so that's out number 1. Here's our Wells Fargo look ahead. Upcoming series in St. Petersburg. Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday for the A's and the Rays. A's with 87 wins, the Rays with 80. The runs per game. Home runs a big difference there. Rays can pitch. Pretty good defensively, and one of the surprise teams this year. They are 15 games over 500. And really, Ray, in a season where it'll be Edwin Jackson tomorrow against Diego Castillo, right-hander. But in a season where the 4 best records in all of baseball come from the American League,
Amazing.
That's what's hurting the Rays.
That's right.
In more of a, let's see, a normal year, they would be closer to a postseason berth than they are right now. They're 8.5 games behind the A's for the second wild card, and of course, they're in a division that has the Red Sox and the Yankees both having
the biggest thing. Yeah, exactly. And it looks like the A's are going to see 3 openers in the weekend series. The A's might have one of their own.
Yep.
The Rays have the most. You saw the game started by the starting pitcher for tomorrow night. So it will be an abundance of bullpen for the Rays at least. We saw a couple in Oakland.
So it should be an interesting series. Rays with a lot of new players. You know who's really playing well for the Rays is Joey Wendell.
Exactly.
Having a really
He's
good
playing
year.
the infield, playing the outfield, playing all over. Good for him. Traded to the A's, acquired from Cleveland for Brandon Moss as a second baseman, but he's done a lot of things for the Rays, especially coming up with some big hits.
I've actually seen his name as guy who may get some Rookie of the Year votes.
Doesn't have to worry about the Velcro on his batting gloves because he doesn't wear it.
No. No need. Now 3-2 to Trey Mancini.
Will Taylor's first major league game came with Familia pitching. A game against the Mariners. Call the slider. Familia wants to throw it.
Strike 3 called on the inside corner. Mancini disagrees with Angel Hernandez.
Well, fans, as we wrap up the celebration of our 50th anniversary season in Oakland, what better way to celebrate than a 50-year musical journey accompanied by our world-class fireworks. That's right, 50th anniversary fireworks. Join us September the 22nd, beginning at 6:05 for our game against the Twins. Stay for the Bay's best fireworks. Grab your tickets at athletics.com/fireworks today. And remember, that's the 22nd. And it's a special day because shirts off the back by the players prior to the fireworks show. So that's a special day. And of course, when I have bobblehead on Friday, that Appreciation Day Sunday. So a great weekend to close out the regular season 2018.
I want to know the count to Beckham.
Great to see the place packed for 3 games. Of course, the Angels in town prior to a 3-game series starting next Tuesday at the Coliseum. 3 the Angels, 3 the Twins, and then on the road.
Waves at it.
Cap, once again, the A's bullpen has done their job. Since Kelly came in, got out of the mess, the Orioles scored their 4, 2 in the first, 2 in the fourth, and that's it. A hit in each of the 3 innings after Anderson departed.
Dugout getting ready. In the 9th inning, it'll be Martini, Taylor, Laureano. Those are the 3 scheduled hitters.
Well, you figure they're going to pinch hit for, I would think, Bo Taylor. Let's see.
So Beckham has his 2nd hit. He's 2 for 4. Knocked it a pair in the 1st inning.
Beckham had the big hit in the 1st inning, and this hanging breaking ball just did not break sharply.
So Jace Peterson hits for the first time in the game for defense. Chapman plays even with the bag. First pitch is in for a strike. No swing, says Bill Miller. Beckham not a base stealer. He only has 1 stolen base.
Well, that's what Bill Miller saw, and he said no.
Down the left field line, that could be trouble, and it is fair. Beckham headed for 3rd, and they're going to wave Beckham home. And Beckham is going to score with a head-first slide. Orioles get an insurance run. It's 5-3.
That hurts. Well, Martini did not have a strong throw back to the infield, and I think we're going to find out exactly why. But a good job of hitting going opposite field by Peterson. Watching the corner because it was hit hard enough, came off the wall. But as Martini got to the wall, it's going to carry him off to him, and right there, he fell down and actually threw from his knees. That's why there were a couple of hops to Simeon. If he's able to make a strong throw in the air, probably a much different result. Bottom line, it did not happen, and the A's are down by 2.
So we're going to get a pinch hitter. This is DJ Stewart, who's hitting for Andreoli.
And it's coming with 2 outs also. A ground ball and a strikeout. And a base hit. And a double.
First pitch to Stewart. A little bit off the plate outside. Ballpark like this, with a team like the A's, hit a lot of home runs. Going into the 9th inning trailing by just 1 run is a nice thing for the A's. You don't ever want to be trailing, but they're such a good offensive team. But the Orioles have added 1. So Pagan will start to throw. What you don't want to have here, Ray, is one of those innings where Familia gets up to 25, 27, 28 pitches.
Well,
he's already at 20.
At 20 right now. You're exactly right. And a big series against the Rays. Of course, this is a big series as well, a big finale.
Foul just below us. Stewart has just 3 big league at-bats. He's in the lineup earlier in this series. Does not have a big league hit.
Yeah, Matt Olson robbed him last night. A ball down the first base line. Could have been a double. Ended up being an out.
Just missed. Close pitch.
After your point, this might be his last batter.
Yeah, Pagan is ready.
So this is a matter of a pitcher calling his own game. Ray Taylor went through 4 signs and finally liked the 4th one.
Maybe he didn't like it.
Maybe he thought twice.
Blocked nicely by Taylor. That bounced way out in front of home plate. Never an easy pitch to block, I would imagine.
Use your whole body, do whatever you have to, and did keep it in front of it.
So a full count to DJ Stewart. Valera, the switch hitter, is in the on-deck circle. Swing and a miss. He struck him out 97 miles an hour. A run for the Orioles. So 9th inning coming up. A's down by a pair. 5-3 Orioles lead the A's. Last shot for the Athletics to try to extend their winning streak to 7 games. Gibbons stays out there. Gibbons got a couple of huge outs in the 8th inning. A's had a run in and the bases loaded and 1 out. Gibbons struck out Piscotty and then retired Marcus Semien, and he's back out there for the 9th. And that one missed inside, 2-0. Dustin Fowler has come out into the on-deck circle. He's going to hit. Inside corner for a strike.
That's amazing to see the reaction of a hitter and then see the right hand go up. Pretty good pitch. I think Martini trying to sell it.
So now 3-1. Martini at a double, a single, and another single. And he's knocked in a run, so he's 3 for 3.
It's Bob Melvin who called Fowler back.
And he walked it. So here come the A's again.
Got the Chrysler drive of the game, and I was talking about great hitting the opposite field can be productive, and that's exactly what Peterson did. Jace Peterson brought in Beckham and is going to the left field corner. Unfortunately, Martini fell, slipped, and as he threw from his knees, just not a lot on the throw. Semien, a good throw as Beckham slid head first. That is big insurance run. 2-run lead. Lead-off walk. See if the A's can make something out of it with Fowler coming.
First pitch to Fowler. Is Park for strike. Laureano to follow. So Rickard goes to left field. And Stewart stays in the game. He's now in right field. So DJ Stewart in right, Joey Rickard in left, Mullen still in center. Swing and a miss. That's a tough pitch to handle right there. 95. Up and in.
Especially up and in is always tough. Like to extend the arms. I was thinking what Bob Melvin might have told Fowler when he called him back to the dugout. He might have told him to take a strike. He did, and he's behind 0-2.
He's trying to get the big boys up. Laureano, Chapman, Lowry, Davis, and Olsen. Struck him out. He went inside again. And Fowler just could not catch up with it.
Well, if you go inside and that happens the first time, you figure you're going to get it again. And he did.
So out number 1 here in the 9th inning. Here's Laureano. Laureano opened up the 8th inning with a single, and then he scored. First pitch, a slider, snaps in there for a strike. Laureano with 5 home runs on the year. A pop-up behind first, and hustling over and diving and making the catch is Valera. Sensational play by the Orioles second baseman, Rivik Valera. And he's getting a standing ovation.
Well, he should, because this ball kept slicing away from him. He went headlong, and it is a fair ball. Ends up in foul territory, but the catch was made, and it was fair. And good base running by runner at first, because if Martini had been with thought that maybe it was going to drop in, he could have been a lot farther down. That's why Valera caught it, slid into foul territory, and from his backside got the ball back in. Great play.
He doesn't catch that, Ray, you don't know where it's going to go.
That's right.
It could roll into the corner. I mean, the A's would probably have second and third if he doesn't catch that. So that is a huge play. So It's up to Matt Chapman to keep the game going. Maybe get one in his wheelhouse here. Gibbons pitches outside with Martini taking off, so he'll get to second base.
Well, that's a good idea. Takes the force out, and with Chapman's speed, that could be beneficial on a slow hit ball.
Strike called right on the corner. So 1-1 the count to Matt Chapman, who's 1 for 4. He singled in the 8th inning. To short. Scooped up by VR. Yeah, that's the ball game. So the Baltimore Orioles break their 6-game losing streak, and the A's 6-game winning streak comes to an end here in Baltimore. The A's still win the series, but come up short of the sweep tonight. Time of game was 2 hours and 51 minutes, and the attendance at Camden Yards 11,714.